What's up, just if you're Jip here in the house. Right now, this is a video response to the Do You Love Black Men video, Maho. I think I need to explain what happened about that video. Anyway, while I was doing these videos and things like that, I was really interested in finding people who don't, or women who don't like black men, and I wanted to ask them why, and basically just to see how many people are affected by media, how many people are affected by the lies that a lot of these white European men from, of course, America, Canada, England, Australia, and New Zealand come over here and talk about, and spread, these rumors and stuff like that. And of course, they got their reasons why they got it, history and stuff like that, and whatever, other things. And I wanted to find out if I can actually find those women. Then I would actually like to ask them who told them this, where they get this influence from, and then I get their answers. And then at the same time, I would ask them, well, do you listen to rock, hip hop or reggae, or are you different questions like that. And I wouldn't ask if they dated black guys before or anything like that. That doesn't matter, because anyone who's dated somebody and then something happened and they're gonna say they hate everybody anyway, so it don't matter. But I just wanted to see where their views were when it comes to the customs and things like that. So when I walked over to her and I asked her, I got a little ritual, a little system that I ask all the women about these before I turn the video, and I talked to every last one of them for about a good 3 to 5 minutes. But her, it took a while. It took like a good 10 minutes to talk to her, because at first she really wasn't, she seemed like she wasn't interested in it. So I was just thinking to myself, okay, fine, that's cool, but living out here, you pretty much understand how a lot of people think and things like that. So while we were walking and stuff, then I asked her where was she going. She said to a bar or something like that, and then I started asking her other questions that weren't related. What do you do and this and that. And I think I asked her something, but I don't remember what I asked her, but it made her laugh. And I was thinking like, oh, okay, now I understand. And what it probably was that, I don't remember exactly what the question was, but with her, I think I did ask her if she had any black friends. That's what I said, or African friends. And then when I asked her that, she started laughing, and the way she laughed was obviously yes. And even more than that, she was probably dating a black guy or an African guy or something like that. So then, but that's just my own opinion, what I think, based on the way she laughed and stuff. And then I asked her, well, if you really don't like black people or whatever, just be honest and please, put it on YouTube and stuff like that. And she told me, she said, no, it's not that she don't like black people or nothing. She gave some other reason. I'm not going to guess what it was. I'm thinking it was just the point that she didn't care. It didn't really matter to her either way. I think that's what she said on the video too. So it didn't really matter either way. Because I meet a lot of women that's like that. That I don't ask them do they love black men, but I talk to them and we get into conversations and they say, well, I've only dated Japanese guys, and I had really never thought about dating a foreign person, and I was like, okay, that's fair, because when I was growing up, I never actually thought about dating any other women other than black. But I end up getting married, but that was because I went to that person because someone introduced us and stuff like that. But so anyway, when I started filming it, I asked her the way her face was, and I was like, oh, okay, wow, and it was kind of, I almost didn't put it up because of, it did seem like one of these guys did seem like it was not confrontational or anything like that, but it was like she didn't really want to do it. It kind of seemed like that, but like I said, it was just the way that we were talking and stuff. She agreed and things like that, and I was really kind of happy the way that she did respond, because it gave everyone an indication that, hey, she's been pretty much honest about her answer. But then again, it might not even been honest. It could have been a lie, because there are a lot of women out here who date black men and say they don't and all this stuff, and then next thing you know, you will see them walking down the street with some black guy and stuff, and basically, if they say they don't, it's fine. I just say it as though it's it's not my business for me to know, and they don't have to tell me. So it's fine. You got all of that stuff out here too. It's no different than being in the States. But then at the same time, for me to say that I actually look for women that's saying no and stuff like that, it kind of sounds like I'm looking for rejection, or I'm looking for an answer to satisfy this hate, this thirst for more hate that's in these Western cultures and things like that. And actually, I'm not doing that, and I'm not even looking for it. Matter of fact, after I got this last comment from this one guy, said it was confidential. It seemed obvious from the video that it was some type of confrontation there. And if he meant confrontation as far as in me getting violent or anything, no, that's not the case and stuff like that, And let's see what happened. That's not the case. But then again, a lot of people out here, they do like black people. I mean, I would say like black people, love black people and stuff like that. And like I said, it's just like spreading the love and things like that. But this video is really interesting, and it almost kind of reminds me of the Chinese, the one with the two Chinese girls in it, Chinese women in it, where the one Chinese girl said no, she never really thought about it or anything like that. But then her friend, she said that she was dating a basketball player and that she wanted to marry him, and then she started talking about the things that made her happy, or the qualities about him that made her happy and things like that. And then her friend just started jumping on board and started saying the same things, because on the video, whatever they're talking about, you can't really tell, but most of my life I talk to a lot of women in groups and things like that, and I will tell you, they bring up sex and the things that they do with guys. They bring that stuff up. I've been around those conversations, and I'll just listen and stuff like that, and it actually just builds my I wouldn't say it built my confidence, because there's no confidence in speaking to women, which I want to make a video about that. It's just that it made me understand that, hey, you don't need to have strength, or you don't need to have confidence, or you don't have to be secure or anything to speak to a woman. All you gotta do is just open your mouth, and that's it. If they want to talk to you, then it's fine. They want to talk to you, then that's fine. But there's no confidence in opening you don't need anything. All you need to do is some impulse to tell your mouth to open, another impulse to move your vocal cords in such a way where you're going to make some type of communication, and it's according to what comes out your mouth, whether the girl's going to want to speak to you or not, and it has nothing to do with confidence or anything like that. But pretty much this video is really interesting and stuff, and I just thought I'd make this on response to it. It took me a good 10 minutes to talk to her, and maybe, at first she wasn't kind of like willing to do it or anything like that, but she didn't walk away fast. Most girls, if they don't want to talk to you, they'll wave their hands or they'll walk away fast. She didn't do any of that. The conversation was real nice and everything, and she didn't really want to go on camera at first when we first saw it, but then by the time the 10 minutes was up and everything, she said okay, she agreed to do it. But she doesn't have to be all happy and ganky and all of that stuff. And how can I say that? She don't have to be happy or ganky or anything like that. She just made the video, and that might be just how her style is. A lot of women, when they go out and they do things, they don't smile so much. You'd be surprised, when you see those type of women, and you got to understand how they are. Otherwise, you're going to read them wrong. Anyway, I'm out. Peace.